Let's be real. There's a special, wonderful place in sports for celebrating when things go completely, hilariously wrong. And today, we're diving into the undisputed king of that whole category, Shaqtin A Fool. So let's break down this absolute masterclass in basketball's most gloriously clumsy moments. And you gotta love this. This one simple question from the man himself, Shaq, just captures the entire spirit of the segment, doesn't it? It's a challenge, it's a laugh, and it's a reminder that this is all about pure, unfiltered entertainment, usually at the expense of some of the best athletes on the planet.
But hey, before we get to the main event, the show kicks off with a little friendly, and I mean friendly, competition. The whole crew put their basketball brains to the test, picking their all-star reserves, and, well, the results definitely established a clear pecking order.
And yeah, the numbers speak for themselves. You've got EJ sitting on top of the mountain, just dominating with 13 out of 14 correct picks. Wow. Shaq comes in with a very respectable 11, Chuck's in third, and then there's Kenny. Oh, Kenny. Bringing up the rear with a solid 8. Yikes. This right here is why the show is so great. When they call him out for his terrible score, does Kenny break down analytics? Nope. His defense is pure gold. I went with people I like. I mean, how can you even argue with that? It's the perfect example of how this show is all about personality, not just predictions. Okay, predictions are settled, scores are in, now it's time for what we all came here to see. They're billing this as a future award-winning episode, so the pressure is on. The countdown of the week's biggest blunders is officially on. Kicking things off at number 4, we've got a play that starts out so simple, but ends in just utter chaos, right there under the basket. The crew called this one passing the bucket, and you'll see why. You have 2 players, a totally wide open lane. It should be the easiest 2 points of their lives. But instead of a dunk, they get caught up in this weird, clumsy dance, and poof, the opportunity is just gone. And really, the reaction in the studio says everything you need to know. There's no fancy breakdown, no deep analysis, just a simple, exhausted, oh my goodness. You know, sometimes a play is just so absurd, it leaves you totally speechless. So we go from a failure of teamwork to a spectacular solo effort at number 3. And trust me, this one it's just painful to watch. So picture this. Clippers center Ivica Zubac goes up for what looks like it's going to be a thunderous rim-shaking dunk. He's got the power, he's got the space, and he gets met by the best defender in the game, the rim. The ball just clings off the iron with so much force. Oof. But this beautiful disaster gave birth to some incredible new slang. The crew immediately dubbed this a spine tingler. It's that kind of miss that's so jarring, so unexpectedly violent, you actually feel a shiver go down your own spine. It's the perfect name for a perfectly awful play. Okay, so we've had a team meltdown and a brutal rim rejection. We are now entering the top 2. And believe me when I tell you, the foolishness is about to hit a completely different level. All right, coming in at number 2, we have a moment that involves one of the most fundamental shots in all of basketball, performed by a multi-million-dollar professional athlete. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? You heard that right. Rudy Gobert, one of the best defensive players in the entire league, steps up to the free throw line and shoots a complete and total airball. It didn't touch the rim, it didn't graze the backboard, it hit nothing but air. The whole arena just goes silent in disbelief. The crew's reaction was instant. It wasn't even laughter at first. It was just this firm command to stop the tape. Close that door. It was so fundamentally wrong, so offensive to the game of basketball, they just refused to watch it again. That's when you know you've seen something truly special. No, seriously, just take a second. An air ball from the free throw line from a pro? That feels like the peak, right? That has to be the most Shaqtin thing possible. What in the world could be a bigger blunder than that? Well, here we go. The number 1 spot. And in a twist I don't think anyone saw coming, it doesn't even involve a player holding a basketball. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but a coach took the number 1 spot. Celtics assistant coach Charles Lee is just walking the sideline, not paying attention for a split second, and walks directly into referee Vita. And the result? An accidental but very, very real headbutt. You cannot make this stuff up.
So how do you even measure a blooper that unique? Well, the crew had to bring out the ultimate weapon, their biggest insult. They declared it worse than a Chuck playoff guarantee. For anyone who watches this show, you know that is the absolute bottom of the barrel. There is no coming back from that. It's the undisputed champion of foolishness. So, after all of that beautiful chaos, you gotta ask yourself, what is it that makes a simple blooper reel one of the most loved segments in all of sports? What's the magic formula here?
When you really break it down, the recipe is just brilliant. It's a celebration of imperfection in a sports world that is obsessed with perfection and highlight reels. It's got that legendary, off-the-cuff commentary that you just can't script. It humanizes these larger-than-life athletes, reminds us all that anybody can have a really, really bad day at the office. And maybe most importantly, it gives us that pure, unscripted, can't-breathe kind of laughter that you just can't fake. And that's why it connects with all of us, right? It's a shared moment of just hilarious humility, which kind of leaves me with one last question for you. What's the most unforgettable, spine-tingling Shaqtin moment that you've ever seen, on or off the court? Think about it.